This is Lauren.
This is Trey.
And this
is the Partnership Podcast.
I've never put my coffee behind me on my little shelf.
You have a shelf down? Oh, yeah, that shelf. Good for you, babe.
I don't even do that in other podcasts.
I don't even do that. Honey, welcome back to the chairs. Oh, wow.
Whoa, we took a little break. Mm-hmm. I've been everywhere. I've been holding newborn babes. I've been doing podcasts in Texas. Mm-hmm. Some of the times I've brought my favorite sidekick along, i.e. you.
That's me. I've been stretching.
And doing some deep dives on our very favorite modality. Audience, you know it. You love it. Can you say it? The Wheel of Consent.
Yeah, it's been fun.
He has purchased for himself his own copy of The Art of Receiving and Giving. Mm-hmm. And it's been really a joy, I just want to speak to it, to witness you learning in your own way. I mean, one of my nerdiest delights on this human planet, that was weird how I said that, is the different ways in which our brains learn. It is why I love individualizing my care so much. Like, it is why I don't like group work as much, because it's like, oh, you attendees have to fit into my curriculum. You have to enjoy what I've already created for you, instead of, ooh, let me get inside your mind and see how you work. And it's so fun how you work, and I love how you take notes on things. I love your deep dive. You go deeper than I do on so many things. And so it's been really fun to watch you, and it's brought up things like the thing you want to talk about today.
Okay. All right. Switching gears. Thank you for all that, babe. Switching gears. So I was at the lovely Sam's Club, and I usually get because you like Hazy IPAs.
My fave.
Yeah.
My fave beer of all time. If anybody needs to gift me.
That's your glass slipper. I decided not to purchase Hazy IPAs for you because you didn't ask me to. I didn't do it. I usually do. And the reason I didn't do it is you've shared with me you're having some body issues about excess weight. Oh, wow, this is fucking tricky now that I'm saying it out loud. So, and this is what I wanted to talk about. And this is not a surprise too, where I brought this up. But the reason I wanted to talk about this is because for marriages and for a straight man, this is one of the most dangerous territories you could ever fucking go down. But I wanted to talk about it where the lovely nuance of this. So I decided not to purchase them for you. You didn't ask me to purchase them for you, but I didn't feel it was in alignment with your goals because the Hazy IPAs are 220 calories each. And a 12-pack, that's 2,600 calories. And this is my opinion. Please feel free to disagree, which is something you can easily do in 1 week. So in my mind, it is an extra day's worth of calories. 2,600 is actually a healthy day's worth of calories. It's a lot of calories. So it's essentially an extra day's worth of calories. So in my mind, it doesn't align with your goals, which I chose not to do. What follow-up questions do you have for me? Let's navigate this fucking landmine, this land field of a topic.
I love you.
Love you.
So Trey did bring this up ahead of time, which I'm so thankful for, because I think if this had been a topic that caught me off guard, it could have been very sensitive.
Fuck yeah.
Because I think most human beings have a complex when it comes to appearance because of especially this culture that we live in, which has some, I don't know, norm. Like, this is what attractiveness is. This is what healthy is. Blah. So I'm glad he brought this up for many reasons. One being that I am about to turn 40 and I'm so excited. And one of the things I am really looking to step into and out of is this consistent idea in my head that I'm not enough. You know that it is one of the things that I work on, that I am simultaneously not enough and way too much, right? And so it was funny when you brought this up last night as a potential topic for today. Immediately I thought, I'm failing him. That was my first thought. Right? Not only am I frustrated with the thickening, anyone who's going through perimenopause understands. I love to be a woman who sets her mind to something, pursues something, and my coach, shout out to Robin, yesterday called me out on the fact that I also love external validation. So I not only love to set my mind to something, start pursuing it, then I love people to go, you're doing such a good job. So when somebody goes, you're not doing a good job, I'm like, oh. And it starts to take away from my own pursuit. It starts to be distracting. Because the truth of the matter is I can get to my pursuit however I desire to get to it. I can change my mind. I can do all of these things. So thank you, first of all. And I just wanted to tell the audience, everybody can take a deep breath. I'm going to be okay through this conversation because I thought this was fascinating. Two things. One, from Wheel of Consent, there's two different things I find fascinating here. First, thank you for not serving me when I didn't ask for an act of service. The best act of service comes from the person who is accepting the gift. And there are often times when Trey says, I'm headed to Sam's Club today. Is there anything you'd like? And I say this, that, or the other thing. And yes, sometimes I say my favorite Hazy IPAs. And I don't think he even told me he was going. I knew you were going to Sam's Club, but I didn't get the, hey, do you need anything, want anything? So I hadn't asked. So thank you. Thank you. Well done. Second, there's the other thing at play here, which I think is what we really wanted to feel into, which is when a partner hears somebody's goals and then they start to kind of inject themselves in to how that person should meet their goals. Because I don't know if y'all have met my husband, Trey, but he does things very particularly. And sometimes Trey's way of doing things is not Lauren's way of doing things. So I think we're also feeling into another act of service that's much more subconscious, which is, oh, I'll help her meet this goal. Mm-hmm. Which is lovely and kind.
That actually doesn't come up in my body because it's not my place.
Cool. Okay. So
I'll
great.
help her meet this goal.
Great.
You didn't ask me to. And it's not my place, and I wouldn't feel comfortable trying to do subversive things in order to help you meet that goal. Does me not buying you hazies feel submersive to you?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No. I think would a look?
Yeah.
Would. And here's the thing, and Alison Armstrong talks about this, and I love it. Sitting down as partners and saying, what are some goals that we want to pursue? And how would you like support in that goal? Is a really beautiful conversation. If somebody wants to take a break from porn, if somebody wants to start walking every day. So perfect way of this, and this is what I thought of, is that Alison enjoys walking every day. And so when she told her husband, when she was going through menopause, that she wanted to do this, he said, how can I support you? And she said, every day I want you to take me and drop me off a mile from the house. So I have to walk. And so they would have this lovely coffee drive and he'd be like, bye. And she would have to walk home. It was consensual.
It worked out.
But she was like, I don't think I'll walk. Are you willing? They had a conversation about that. And he was like, of course. And he was retired. And so it made complete sense. They would have like their little time. And then he'd be like, bye. And she had to walk. Now, that was help that she asked for, though, which I love. So we haven't really talked about, the support, if any, I'd like in my journey through perimenopause.
I need to be clear also, you have not asked for any support when it comes to weight loss or the thickening. You haven't asked for any of that. I also need to be clear, and I'd love to open you up for some questions too, if you have questions for me, cool. Because this is like, thank you for being curious about this exercise, because this isn't, in my mind or in my body, this is not a problem that needs to be fixed. Okay. This is not an issue. This is not something that's bothering me. So thank you so much for the space to just be curious for the sake of curiosity, for the exercise of it, because it is a fascinating, highly nuanced thing that I feel like could easily be bad or fall into a trap or be a point of contention. With alcohol, I need to be clear that I don't feel like I'm enabling you. That is not on the table because you do not go to drunkenness on a daily, weekly basis, not by any means. So that is not, because that's been it's been an issue in both of our relationships in the past of having partners where alcoholism and drunkenness and blacking out, and then us being enablers of this behavior. So that is not on the topic, or that is not on the table for this topic.
Thank you. Fun note, I didn't get drunk for the first time until I was like 36. I was at our local pizza place with my group of friends on a random trivia night, and I had never been drunk before. Yeah, didn't happen. And now it occasionally happens, and every time I blame it on a stomach bug, a fictitious stomach bug that I have.
About 6 months ago, when she did get drunk and the room was spinning, she was like, "No, it's a stomach bug." And I go, "Honey, you have to put one foot on the ground."
It's always a surprise. It's never.
How many did you have? Like 8?
No, you're drunk.
Like it's okay.
Crazy things, but I'm like sipping champagne during our Thanksgiving feast or something. It's never such as getting older. Anyway, it's lovely that I didn't. Yeah. So yeah, questions for you, I guess. Okay, here's another thing that I do think comes up in partnerships a lot is sharing things with our lover, partner, feelings we feel about our own bodies. So I think the people who share a home with us, bathrooms with us, bedrooms with us, mirrors with us, often hear the darkest thoughts in our heads that nobody else hears. You mentioned this before, like everybody else gets fun, Lauren, right? I get the real version. And yeah, so I guess a question for you is, some of the dialogue that you're hearing from my mouth at all off-putting? And again, I'm trying to really stay curious here because I'm really proud of my body and what it's doing right now, and I'm fine. But I know that we hear each other's things. I hear your things too. So yeah, is the most recent speak that you've been hearing off-putting or something different?
I think we're always our own worst critics. I think that's very human. I also think that we've made an agreement where we are the most vulnerable with each other.
Yeah.
And no,
Okay.
I don't find any of that off-putting. Not at all. Personally, I love your body. I think it looks amazing. But it does go back to our own self-image is the hardest for us to be happy and content with. I've seen myself in mirrors and pictures, and I can count on one hand. For fuck's sake. I can count on one hand how many times in my life that I've been like, oh, I am satisfied with that.
Yeah. So in school, we would talk about, obviously, fat phobia and our culture and who gets to enjoy pleasure. And I loved this term I learned called pleasure policing, right? Like who gets to enjoy their bodies and the bodies of others. And is it only skinny white folks, right? Like who gets to enjoy pleasure? And so I really like to check what I'm comparing myself to, some model on some runway who's frail and falling apart, who fits in this designer's clothes. And why are you giving me that face?
Just listening.
Yeah, well, you were reacting.
Pardon.
Okay. And it's a good challenge. It really is a good challenge. And like anybody who's in a body that changes over time, specifically people in bodies with uteruses that are slowly changing hormonally, right? So compared to a male body who, yes, testosterone does go down over time. The female body, as it's going through perimenopause and menopause, is a wild frontier. Estrogen's changing, progesterone's changing, everything is changing. The amount of eggs that we're releasing is slowing down until eventually we no longer need to shed the lining of our uterus. And so hormonally, crazy things starts happening. And we have this natural thickening around our midsection to start to protect our organs and our uterus. And it's beautiful, and I don't want to not like it. It is stunning. And so some of the conversations you and I have had is like, hey, can you put your hand on my tummy? You know, can we start to love this together? And God, I want to embrace that. I really, really do. And then simultaneously, I also want to fight this idea that, like, because for so long with our medical system, we were like, well, this is just aging to women. That's what we said. We were like, yeah, men, you can have Viagra. Here you go. Here's testosterone. Here you go. But women, we were like, you're just aging. And we didn't do anything for them. And so I want to utilize what is out there for me, whether it's exercise, whether it's weightlifting to increase bone density, whether it's movement, whether it's eating differently and maybe eating or drinking different things. So I guess my question to you is, okay, so you've said that body comments are not off-putting, or observations I'm having about my own changing body. Are my habits off-putting?
No.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
not at all. Question for you. Do you feel, or in the future, would you feel apprehensive about requesting that I buy Hazy IPAs for you?
Because of this conversation?
Because of this conversation?
No, for some reason.
Great.
Yeah. I think, God, I love getting older. I think this is my process. I would be leery if there was hidden resentment or judgment. If you're sitting there criticizing me, then now is your time in front of this public audience to share. Like, if you are feeling feelings of criticism, I'd like to know. But I don't think so.
Can you ask me the same question about buying you Hazy IPAs in the future?
Will you feel I don't know. What question do you want me to ask you? Sorry, because you don't drink Hazy IPAs. You drink a good old-fashioned Coors Light sometimes.
If you were to ask me the same thing, hey, babe, can you make sure and get me my beers? I'd be happy to.
Why?
Because they bring you joy. Why else? Mainly, it's not my place to tell you how you want to consume calories. It is absolutely not my place. What I was proud of in this whole exercise is that I could see myself buying these and you drinking them and me becoming resentful. And like, what a mind fuck that is.
Yes.
Where it's, I got this gift for you. The gift would be for you. Back to the wheel of consent. It would be for you. I'm doing the service, but I feel resentful of you accepting the gift or receiving the gift. That's fucked up. And that's on me. So I chose not to buy the thing that would, like, I could see that. I don't know if it was going to happen or not, but like, that's definitely a fucking trail I'd go down.
Yeah.
So it's one of those what the fucks. If you were to request, I'd be happy to. Would I feel resentment or criticism, or it's like, you're not being responsible? Fuck no. No, that's not my place. Also, I think you have a lovely body. Also, I think you eat really well. I think you exercise. I hear your concerns, and I think they're very universal and very human of, I don't like the way I look right now. And from what I shared about myself, I have those body images also. And the whole like pretty privilege and blah, blah, blah. Fuck all that. This is about me. So I get it. I empathize. I empathize with, we're our own worst critics. But it was curious to me, and it was very interesting to me to feel myself going down this path of doing something for you and then criticizing you because you're accepting And I don't want to do that anymore because that's something we've worked on. It's something I would go to in the past because I'm really wheel of consent. I'm really good at serving. I'm working on accepting. So, yeah.
It's so beautiful, hon. And it's so wild. And I hope the audience could hear and see this too, is that this was all on the outside, a seemingly small change or a nothing change because you didn't buy me something that I didn't ask for.
Yeah.
But internally, that was a rewiring and like great fucking job of literally having this imagination exercise, letting it follow through, seeing what could happen and saying, I'm going to choose not to do that. So freaking amazing.
Thank you for it not becoming Trey doesn't think I'm responsible. Trey thinks I'm not walking the walk. I'm just talking the talk. Trey thinks I'm complaining and not doing anything about it. Thank you for this this gift of just having this conversation.
You're so welcome. So this is stumbling into my new favorite thing. Poor Trey has had to listen to this and y'all have not gotten to yet. Oh, there's going to be more coming on lying and lie inviteeing. So what I am really fascinated with right now, this idea of responding has just been so interesting to me because you and I talk about it all the time, that being a safe space for one another's feelings, rawness, truth.
Yeah, ugly.
Yeah, ugly.
Yeah.
And being able to differentiate and create observational distance to be like, what's Trey really trying to say here? Trey was really trying to give me this beautiful illustration of a recent lived experience that was different. He was trying to say, oh my God, this wheel of consent modality has been so helpful to me. Look at this, babe. You weren't trying to say you're getting fatter. That's not what you were trying to say. So this lie invitee and liar thing comes from this developmental model of relationships that I'm just now dipping my toes into. And I've been really interested of how often we will call out the liar in a relationship, but how often we do not accept the role we played as the lie invitee. And one of the ways we do that, one of the ways we invite our partners to lie to us, is by our crazy reactions when they share truth with us, is by not going to curiosity, is by blowing up and letting the emotional response to truth become the mischief maker. And so one of the delusions that a lie invitee can really get behind is, I can handle this. I can handle this truth. I can handle this truth. And the truth is that they can't handle their emotional response to the truth. So what I was really trying to temper there was my emotional response. The statement that Trey wants to share is his truth. I went to Sam's Club. I chose not to do something you hadn't asked me to do. Can you celebrate me? That's all it was. Not me then going and sifting out something else and emotionally responding to that. Now, the liar often believes my partner can't handle the truth. So they're like, well, since she can't handle this, I won't say it. I won't even bring this up.
There's a lot of safety in that.
Right. We've had conversations in this room where you've been like, holy hell, this is why people don't bring this stuff up, because it's so hard and so awkward.
We had a instance recently. It was within the last month where I shared something with you, and then you asked if you could share a raw emotion with me that, like, I don't want to be around you right now. Mm-hmm. Like, you shared that with me, and I immediately took it personally. That I'm failing, and it was hard because, like, that emotion became the biggest thing.
I've been thinking about that moment at the bar with this. I can't wait to show you just this page, because what I think I felt in that moment was, this is my truth. And I kept trying to say, I am feeling these feelings of wanting to push away. I don't think they're real. but that is what I'm feeling in my body. But your emotional reaction to the truth was really hard then to sit with, right? And
for context, I do Big Brother, Big Sister, and it's just a lot of issues as far as just, with my little brother, a lot of frustrations around, he's getting in trouble in school a lot. We're not focused on reading and writing, stuff like that. And I was sharing with these things, and Lauren, emotions of like abandoning a child came up, which is not based in reality. Would you say that? I feel like I'm fucking this up all of a sudden.
No. It was based in, my belonging was so conditional.
Got it. Okay.
Growing up. So it got personalized in my body, right?
Yes.
This idea of, right? And this is sometimes what happens when we're hearing about something. So my body went to, that feels really scary.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was a scary person to be around all of a sudden. And you kept asking me, hey, can you go to Curiosity on this? And in my mind, it's like, how on earth can I go to Curiosity about what you just said where I'm no longer a safe person? And then it's like, why would I share these things with you if it's going to turn into I'm no longer a safe person? So I couldn't go to Curiosity in that moment. Mm-hmm. Even though you were telling me these are just the emotions that are coming up for me. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, fun new stuff. You keep staying in Wheel of Consent, but audience, be prepared. Trey, be prepared. I am loving this so much of, where do I play the role of a lie invitee? Mm-hmm. And, where do I lie? And this book talks about that sometimes we enter in the early stages of partnership. We're like, yeah, I'll do that for you. This works with the beers too, right? Mm-hmm. And we're surprising our partner with things they didn't ask for. And we're doing all these things. And we're like, it's no problem. And maybe it wasn't. But then all of a sudden, the burdens of life get more. And we're like, I don't think I can tell them that that's exhausting now, or that I don't want to get beers anymore.
When we were having our conversation at the bar and this came up about my little brother, was somebody the lie invitee or the liar? Does that apply to this?
No, I think actually we were sitting in truth.
Okay.
I think there was just a lot of truth telling going on at that bar, and we were experiencing the emotional reactions to truth. Mm-hmm. So you said some truth, and I felt emotional reactions to the truth. So then I shared my emotional reactions, which were my truth.
Yeah.
They were. And then you felt emotional reactions to my emotional reactions. Yeah. And we were just sitting in truth.
Okay.
And I'm proud of us. I really am. And I still was that night. Yeah, it was hard. Mm-hmm. But we do hard. And we do messy. And I would rather, and what we're starting to learn is what are my primal subconscious patterns, adaptive behaviors, what is connected to a source wound, a childhood source wound. How does your body respond to a woman being emotional because of, mother wounds? How does my body respond to a man being firm on a boundary because of patriarchy father wounds? And how are those different, and how are they the same, and how do we love one another in them? How also can we just have different opinions on something? What are the ones that we're just allowed to have and just feel differently on? And
then when you asked me to go to Curiosity, I really need to get there. Or we need to open up a container, where it's almost like there's a filter of like, this is almost an exercise, similar to what we were talking about with the beers, because I took it so fucking personally. Like, it ruined the night. It ruined the night.
We were on a date night.
Yeah, we're on a date night, but it became about, I'm not a safe person. That's what I internalized so deeply. But you weren't saying that.
Not at all.
You were saying, this is bringing up some like childhood shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was funny because you asked me to share that.
You asked, can I share some raw feelings? And I said, sure. Mm-hmm. In the future, I'd want to open up a container, and in the future, I'd really want to like safeguard of like, hey, this is stuff that like you are not necessary. I almost need to be reassured. You are not doing this unless I am. You are not doing this. This is what's coming up in my body, or opening up a container.
Yeah, because I
Because
think I was saying that, and that it couldn't fall into your body, which is okay.
it was hard and it was scary for me, and it was frustrating, like walking away from it, because the biggest emotions now became how you felt about my problem, or how you felt about the frustrations that I was going through. That became the biggest topic of conversation, which I had to unwind, where I was like, what's going on here? Because I had to unwind that, but it stemmed from me taking what you said when you're literally saying, don't take this personally. I immediately took it personally. And that needs to be acknowledged.
Because what could happen here, right, is that Trey starts to play the role of the lie invitee. Because what my body sensed was, I can't tell him those things.
And what my body sensed was, I can't tell her these things.
Right.
Because I'd rather have a nice, polite date night and maybe get laid.
Right.
Versus us going to bed and not wanting to touch each other.
Right.
Which is what happened.
And this one happened.
Yeah.
But we are not option A. And we never have been. And yeah, it's hella uncomfortable some nights. Like, seriously. I was sitting there at that bar going, God, I wish I was a different person. Like, I wish I wasn't feeling these feelings, knowing that they're not about Trey. He's not this person. But I was having to sit there in my mind and say, is this what you know Trey to be? Is this a truth? And I was like, no, it's not a truth. And I was like, loud tummy. Can you move through this emotion here tonight? Do you want to bring this up? And I was like, I could smush it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, are you a smusher? Like, no. Because then I'd become resentful that I was smushing.
Mm-hmm.
Is it fun? No.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. And I think there has got to be grace for us and every other human being who listens to this podcast, that sometimes hard conversations come up when you weren't anticipating them nor wanting them to. And they line really poorly with date nights.
Yeah, and we like to have our hard conversations when there's not the presence of alcohol, and usually when we're outside walking.
Yeah.
Because it gets processed through better.
That is our favorite way.
It's like the synergy. It's like putting these little things together to have hard conversations.
And just sometimes you're going to be on a date night and
it's going to get ruined.
It is. It's just sometimes going to happen. And I think in that, when it does, it is really helpful to zoom out and say, in light of the entirety of this relationship, scope, is it okay? Are we going to be okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think wisdom is, instead of this can't happen or this shouldn't happen, this will happen. Yeah. And then how do we get it just a little bit tighter next time? So, because I would have really loved to go to curiosity and not internalize it so deeply that you're failing as a partner and a man and a provider and you're no longer safe. Which is where I am. It just went point A to point B, just straight into my heart. But that was not your intention. That's just where it went.
And I think what's so wild when we're sharing something, all I truly wanted was, wow, that sounds really hard. Thank you for sharing that with me.
Mm-hmm. Because it was something tapped into little Lauren.
Yeah.
What I was sharing about my frustrations with my little brother, something tapped in to little Lauren, who had to be an adult at 11.
Yeah, which is around his age.
Yeah, which is around when I had to be an adult too.
Yeah.
Which is probably
saying something about
the frustrations I'm having.
Yes, and we talked about that recently, of little us's had to adapt. Mm-hmm. And we were far too young.
Yeah. And then
and the consequences for not adapting.
Where it's also the ego, where it's like, hey, little brother, we've talked about washing your hands 20 fucking times. I don't say fucking. But like, I was I was essentially doing adult chores and responsibilities when I was your age. Lock it the fuck up. Right. That's what my ego says.
Right.
I didn't get to make all of these errors.
There it is.
And also, I got yelled at and threatened to get hit.
And when we hear that, gentle audience, that's an adaptive behavior.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of little Trey and little Lauren and little y'all for the ways in which we stayed safe and we stayed chosen. So proud of us because shelter was important and family was important and staying in relationship with caregivers was important, and we did a good job.
Yeah, was it 12 or 13 when I did the movie?
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, I was making $2,000 a week, and it's like, you didn't do your homework?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a. If I compare myself at his age to, I probably need to stop doing that. Good talk. It's time, baby.
It's time.
It's time.
What a roundabout conversation you've been a part of here today on the Partnership Podcast. It's Lauren and Trey. Please remember, these are our opinions and our opinions only. Also our lived experiences inside a partnership. If you're interested about some of these things that we've talked about today, and you're like, that sounds like it could help in my relationship. Does Lauren work with couples like me? Go to sexedforyou.com/free consult. Maybe I do. You and I can chat about the things that you're looking to overcome.
She does. Like
I do.
Cliffhanger, she does.
Go there, request a consult, we'll chat. Please remember that you have a right to informed decisions making and self-determination. Trey's doing some little kicks. And take what you like, leave the rest. You're the best. Please like, share, follow, subscribe, do all that type of stuff. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Take what you like, leave the rest. You're the best.